I hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? It's the
You.
word. It's the Word Sports Podcast coming to you live stream, and you already know. You already know. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's get in tune. It's our
Yes,
second
sir.
episode. And we at it. We on it. We on it. We want to thank you for taking the time out your day to come join and hang out with us.
Hmm.
You could have watched anything, but you chose to come here, and we appreciate that, all the love. And make sure you comment, make sure you share, make sure you tell somebody. You know what I mean? And spread the word. We're gonna kick it off, and we're gonna say what's the word? What's the word on the day, Sean?
Hey, I mean, it's a lot of things out there right now, but the hot topic right now is AJ
Yeah,
Brown. You
yeah,
know, I've been seeing his name a lot, seeing a lot of things about him getting traded.
yeah. You're right.
I don't. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, you're right, dog. You know what's crazy? I thought about it today. I thought about it today. I really thought about it today. I did like a whole 380, like 360 80 or something like that. And you know what's
Mm-hmm.
crazy? Uh, um, is leading towards. I feel like he's going to leave the Eagles. I feel
Hmm.
like he's leaving the Eagles. Um, do I believe that is a guarantee? I think the probability of him leaving went kind of high. I think after today and the experience, and the reason why I say that is because of the bottom line is, I looked in, my research, and I was basically came to realization that he actually hurts the cap for the Eagles, meaning, meaning that if they trade him, post June 1st, they will be able, they're going to take a hit, but it won't be as much. I think it'll be like 16, 15, 14, something like that. So they will be able to eat that type of money with the cap they have now. So next year they'll be able to pay those guys like Cooper DeJean and Quayon Mitchell, who they expect to pay them, I think, next year or the year after, and their money is going to be like top dollar, like starting like 30 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Because they are like great, corners in the game.
Yeah.
And um, I'm starting to come to the realization that it's definitely a strong possibility that he might leave, and this might be the last time he been as an Eagle. And but at the same time, as I know, I think that it won't be surprising that he does stay another year, only because the probability I probably see is that Howie, he don't back down on nothing. He's not gonna take anything. And so it's gonna be kind of like, you know, who is going to like, you know, give in first. And Noah Howie and the stuff that transpired against Waddle in his deal, he gonna want more. He gonna want the maximum price deal to get for an exchange of AJ Brown. And so I don't think um that um you know so I don't think that Howie is not gonna go down without a fight. He definitely not going down without a fight. And I also came to the realization is that if he don't get what he want, AJ gonna stay. And the thing about it is, if he stay, it might cause problems about, and it can turn into a Micah Parsons thing or what happened last year. Uh, so um, the Eagles need to make a decision, and they can make a decision now. I know the past, I think, was like 3 weeks ago, Howie was saying that he see AJ Brown in their future plans and all that type stuff. But you know, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you just never know in this league. You just never know. Um, but at the same time, doing like all the talks and everything like that, and things are really starting to brew. And the fact of the matter is that he is unhappy in Philly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta open your eyes and see that. The fact of the matter is he's not happy in his position where he's at, and as a result, you know, we're gonna find out post June 1st. What do you think about it, bro?
I think he's going. AJ Brown will not be an Eagle. He's
Yeah,
going to the Patriots.
to the
There's
Patriots.
too many signs out there. There's too many clues that you can just look. You can see he wants
Yeah,
to be a Patriot. He doesn't want to be here.
yeah,
I feel like we can move on from AJ Brown and still be good with Smitty.
yeah.
That's just the truth. He don't want to be here. Why keep him here if he don't want to be here? We keep
Yeah,
him
you're
here,
right.
and he starts getting mad. He starts saying things. Now his trade value goes down.
Yeah, you're
It's just
right.
so trade him while you can, get the most you could, and then you gotta also think. Ain't nobody shut the rumors down. Not AJ, not Howie and them. They letting the rumors go.
Yeah,
What's this debate about? The
AJ
debate. It's
Brown.
not really a debate, but it's really just we just talking about AJ Brown right now.
Yeah,
Saying, do you think AJ Brown gonna stay or go?
yeah. What y'all think? Let us know. But yeah, go ahead, continue, bro.
Yeah, I think AJ gonna end up leaving. I think he's gonna be a Patriot by after June 1st. I think he's gonna be a Patriot.
Okay. So
It just makes sense.
makes sense. You said yeah, probably go. Yeah. So let's hypothetically, he go. He leaves. Do you feel like that? Because you said that the Eagles can, move forward without him, and they can go and Devontae Smith can be that number one wideout. Now, do you think that without AJ Brown, can they still be a championship contender team? Yeah,
Attention. We don't run through AJ Brown. We run through
yeah.
Saquon.
They say yeah, they are
So
trade rumors. Yeah, they are trade rumors. I mean, me in my opinion, I don't want him to go. I don't want him to go. He said to the Ravens, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, though, if you go to the Ravens, there's no excuse for Lamar. None, none, none. I mean zero, none. If you don't go to the Super Bowl, then you just can't get it done. Period. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now
yeah,
you may have a different opinion, but in my opinion, if you got AJ Brown in the Ravens and you got a squad as well, you should be going to the bowl. That's just point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like has had some good teams. He's always had a great defense. So if you give him another receiver, he should go to the bowl for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But then also, like I do feel like that one of the things that the Eagles are good at is finessing the issue. And so let me give you an example. So like the Eagles have a way of like persuading you to stay. You know what I mean? Even though that you're mad, that you're not happy or whatever the case may be, they are good enough to persuade people. They are persuade enough, can persuade you to make you stay or make you be a part of, what they're doing. You get what I'm saying to you? So I mean,
Mm.
um, because you also gotta look at this scenario. I mean, what happens if Howie doesn't get the trade that he wants? He doesn't get the conversation that he wants, and AJ winds up staying. Was that gonna lead to?
That's gonna lead to a lot of drama.
Yeah,
It's gonna lead to, I mean, we done already seen him reading books. I mean, what more we can see end up being hurt and train.
Mm.
That's what I
You
think.
mean fake hurt or real hurt?
Not not a series. Not
You gonna pull Micah?
like that. Yeah,
Mm.
I can see it happening because you got to also think AJ Brown is doing us a favor right now by not saying anything. If the rumors are true, he hasn't said anything about me besides all these posts. He been vocal, saying that he wants to leave Philly.
Right.
So that's kind of helping his trade volume.
Yeah. And
So
then
you
yeah.
got because he's doing that. That's why I think he's going to end up going to a team that he wants to go to, which is probably going to be the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was gonna say, so if he winds up, say if it happens, say he winds up going to New England, what does New England automatically like? What is their ceiling if they wind up acquiring AJ Brown?
Super Bowl champion. They already went to the Super Bowl without AJ.
I mean, yeah, but you got
They defense, their defense is going to still be good, and now their offense is going to be even better.
mm, mm, okay. I mean, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think with the addition of AJ Brown, if they even get AJ Brown, they definitely gonna be in the conversation. They definitely gonna be in the mix of things. I mean, AJ is a a dynamic player. You know, um, Super Bowl they can make it to the Super Bowl. I believe they can. But at the same time, it's too many it's too many AFC teams right now that already made an upgrade through free agency. I mean, you got Kansas City. They coming. They coming. I'm letting you know that right now. They're coming.
You didn't say prediction though, bro. You said selling. They selling is Super Bowl champion if
They
they get
selling
AJ Brown.
us, but can they get there with that
Yeah,
type of AFC AFC like type of teams?
I think they can. You gotta remember that was only Drake May's second year.
Right.
That's his second year, and that was his first. If I'm not mistaken, that was his first year in the postseason. If I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So now that he got that experience, he didn't play good in the postseason. I pretty sure he's gonna play way better if he gets that opportunity again.
Hmm. Okay. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I definitely.
It's not gonna be easy.
He said it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. Teams like you said, like the Broncos, got the Chiefs. It's not gonna be easy for sure, but they have that
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah. No doubt about it. They definitely got the chance. They definitely got a chance to be that to represent the AFC again or whatever the case may be. But it's definitely gonna be hard. It is definitely gonna be hard. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, I think Denver coming. I think Jacksonville coming back. Who else? The Chargers. Don't forget the Chargers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Them getting new offensive coordinator with Mike Daniels. Um, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see what's going on with AJ Brown. Me as an Eagles fan, I don't want to see good players leave. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if he doesn't, if the rumors are true and he's unhappy in Philly, then you just gonna have to depart from him. You know what I mean? Maybe it was just his time to move on. It was just his time's up. Sometimes it be like that. And but at the same time, you got to do what's best for the team, and you can't make a decision like that, like a AJ Brown leaving the Eagles, and you don't have no backup plan. You can't have leave you can't let go of a wide receiver like AJ Brown and don't have a backup plan, because I'm telling you this right now, and I believe it, that if they can't get a replacement for AJ Brown and they fail this year, Nick Sirianni is going to be out of a job by next year. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that.
I don't know because I feel like if Nick Sirianni makes it far in the postseason, he's still gonna have a job.
I'll say the same thing that happened last year. Exit number first round exit.
First round exits, no matter what.
You don't think so? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think that
Even
Devontae Smith can be that number one guy. I think he has the potential to be that number one guy. But at the same time, you got to you he can't do it all by himself. You got to have a number two beside him. Um, I mean, they just added Hollywood Brown, so that's a good thing. But like, you still need a primary wide receiver too. You know what I mean? And a better wide receiver. And even if you're going to get him from a compensation from a team or get him somebody from the draft, you still got to replace AJ Brown, and he has to be better. He has to be. And so uh that's how I believe, and that's how um you know what I mean.
I think the number two receiver does gotta be as reliable as AJ
That's
Brown.
reliable.
I don't need he- the next receiver to be dominant. Just be reliable. Make the catch when you need to make the catch. Get the yards when you need to get the yards. That's all you need to do.
That's-
So I tell you, I just look at the Seahawks. I look at the Seahawks. Jackson Smith and Jigma was the main receiver on that team.
Yeah, you're right.
Cooper Cup was reliable. They had the speedy receiver, Shaheed. He plays when he had to make him.
Yeah,
That's all you need. And that's the thing with Smitty. Him being a number one, him being a number one don't mean that he has to stay on the outside like a Justin
right,
Jefferson. So now
right.
he's not always going against. He's not going to always go against that number one corner.
Hmm.
He'll be moving around, benefit from being a number one.
Yeah, yeah. I believe that too. I mean, I believe that Smitty can, can make that step, can make that leap of being number one. But at the same time, I'm looking at the NFC East. I'm looking at the NFC East. I'm thinking about Dallas just upgrade their whole defense. I just think about the Giants. Excuse me. Um, just created a little bit more havoc to help Jackson Dart. Washington is moving up. You know what I mean? The Rams ain't going nowhere. The Bears ain't going nowhere. Well, San Francisco, they stay healthy. They're going to be a crazy team. So I mean, my thing is like this. You know what I mean? You can have a reliable wide receiver, uh, but at the same time, it's like you know you gotta have that receiver that I believe that's either gonna be like a AJ Brown or a better than AJ Brown because you need that especially when it comes to postseason, like when you're facing those type of defenses like Chicago or the Los Angeles Rams. You know what I mean? You're gonna need those type of you're gonna need it. You just gonna need it. And so I mean it's okay to have a reliable wide receiver. It's okay to have a reliable wide receiver. But like I said, um, I think they need a little bit more. You know what I mean? I think they need a little bit more juice. A nice like wide receiver that can do um that can do different things. You know what I mean? That can do different things that will cause, defense to be confused, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, sometimes a reliable wide receiver can't do that. You know what I mean? So, you're right. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna continue to talk about this AJ Brown. We're gonna continue talking about AJ Brown. The drama's not gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. and we basically ain't gonna get an answer until June 1st. But we still going to continue talking about it. I want to move on to about still on the Eagles. About Lane Johnson. Recently, he was on an interview and he was asked about the new OC. And this is a future Hall of Famer, Eagle, Lane Johnson, saying that the new OC can be it thinks that he is a Shane Steichen type offensive mindset. What do you just by a comment like that? What do you think by and especially a comment like that through a Lane Johnson? What do you feel like? Do you feel excited about that comment or that you know what I mean with Lane Johnson? Do you think that is pretty bad? What do you think?
I never really take their comments too serious. I feel like I gotta actually see it with
Man,
my own eyes because even with like Kevin Patullo and Ben Johnson, they all showed him support when they was playing coaching horrible. So it's like I feel like we gotta see it to believe it. It's like words can only do but so
yeah,
much. You feel me? They can say anything. Anybody could be like, yeah, they're gonna take Jalen to the next level. But we gotta see Jalen get to that next level.
yeah,
We gotta see the work and the evolution of Jalen's arm. Because we don't know how Jalen's arm is getting ready to be right now. We all want him to work on certain things. We gotta make sure he's actually putting in the work. So
right.
it's more than just coaching sometimes. It's also about the players. We gotta
Mm-hmm.
make sure all the players are healthy. Cause that was
Right.
a big problem. So it wasn't all play calling. Sometimes it's just that we wasn't healthy enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we just gotta see it to believe it. So I'm not going like I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to get my hopes up about it.
Mm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, um, I get what you're saying. I think in my take about it, I think when it with a comment like that, that's something you can't ignore, especially from a guy named Lane Johnson that's been with the Eagles for a lifelong time. You know, absolutely. You got to see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that you can't ignore. Like especially recently, they was talking about that Jalen called the new OC amazing. Saquon said that he not too long ago, Saquon said that the new OC was uh great. I never been in a type of offense like this before. So you know what I mean? So it's like the way that they're saying, I mean, yeah, words can say anything, but you gotta actually go on the foot at the end of the day, you gotta go on the field and perform and do that. But I also don't take their words lightly. You know what I mean? You can't take their words lightly, and especially from an OC that we don't really know who he's all about. We don't have no background of this guy. We don't know where he came from, what he's been. I mean, we know he came under the Sean McVay tree, but other than that, what we know about him? We don't really know that much about him. So the fact that people are like the way that they are talking about this new OC and expressing how they um feel, when they're talking to him or talking about him about certain the situations or football, whatever the case may be, they are just mind blowing. And so it does make you like a pause, like, okay, what is this guy really going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's really that amazing than what everybody say he is, you know, then what's this guy all about? You know what I'm saying?
Now, I understand that, but then you got to also understand this, bro. They
Yeah,
not in training camp right now. So all they doing right now is looking at a playbook. They
you're
not
right.
going against no defense. So all these
Yeah,
amazing plays is just on air. We don't know what these plays is going to look like against an actual defense.
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's see if they still saying that during training camp. Let's see the footage.
Let's see the footage.
Yeah.
Let's see the footage.
Like my
You're
man
right.
Chris, like my man Chris say, show me the footage.
Show you the footage.
Yeah, I want to
Uh
see the
huh.
footage. Like
I
my
gotta
man,
see.
my man Damon said, never healthy. We never healthy. We gotta get healthy.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the number
right.
one priority. Health. That whole
Yeah,
line was hurt last year. The whole line.
I think we're all in agreement that that old offensive line probably need to be retooled.
Yeah.
I'm not going over you. I think that whole offensive line need to be retooled. So I mean this Eagles team got some work to do, but I mean, you know, you got to wear. I mean, at the same time, you know, they're still in a Super Bowl window. So you know what I mean. They're still in the Super Bowl window. They still paid a lot of money for this offense. A lot of money with this offense. They invest a whole lot in this offense, and so they gotta go to work. They gotta do it. And if I know Howie, he gonna find a way to get it done. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, you're right though. I mean, only words can say but so much. Only the action. You know what I mean? And so it's just a little bit, amazing to me how, because sometimes, like this past season, not everybody, I can say everybody was not too pleased when Kevin Patullo took the job. Everybody was not pleased. Everybody, it was no hype, no excitement, no none of that. You know what I mean? It doesn't. He didn't give the offense enough to like say, oh, we about to do this, we about to do this, we about to do that, we about to change the game. They didn't make the offense so exciting. Not so exciting, no exciting at all. So the fact that this guy is saying what he's saying to the offense and saying what I'm doing, what is my plan, it's kind of like giving them a brand new like look on eye, which I feel like that Kevin Patullo didn't do. Kevin Patullo was doing the same stuff over and over again, and it became predictable. And the offense got tired of it, and they didn't believe in his system. I think the way that they're talking about the new offensive coordinator, they starting to like getting curious. They start to believe or what he's buying for the new face of this offense. You know what I mean? But that's something that Kevin Patullo didn't do that for the Eagles, and as a result, they didn't make it to the promised land or whatever the case may be. And so, and you could tell the whole body language. Everybody was not in tune of what he was saying. It was no belief at all, none. It was no belief. They had no belief. You could see how the way they was running plays. You could see how they was their attitude. You could see everything. And so I just see like I mean it can be the smallest things. The smallest things can tell a big difference. Now you're right. We gotta see it in the football field. But like I said, I've never seen Kevin Patullo in the beginning of the season print set out a blueprint to the offense and say, "Yo, this is what we're doing. This, that, and the third," and nobody got excited about it.
I seen
You know
Brian
what I mean?
Johnson do it.
Huh?
I seen Brian Johnson do it.
Do what?
Get everybody excited.
Well,
Mm.
I can't
Sorry.
speak for
Yeah.
Brian Johnson because he trashed all of it. But that wound up being a disaster. But that wound up being a disaster. But I mean, I'm just saying like in general. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different minds, a different sounds, a different voice. You know what I mean? And so I think because especially what the Eagles need, they need uh, a different era. They need a different spunk to their offense. Their offense is too talented to be playing like boring football. They're too talented. They way too talented. There's too much talent on that offense to be playing basic football.
There it
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
I'm just saying. Wait to see it first. Don't put all your hopes. You
Oh no,
got
I'm
it's
not blaming
pretty
my
safe
host.
for you.
I'm just, I'm just paying attention to what they, hearing. You know what I mean? Because you all got to listen too, though. But you're right though. We do got to see it though. You do. We do got to see it. You know what I mean? I mean, what you guys think? Comment. You know, express how you feel about the new OC. How you feel like how he's going to uh improve in this offense. We also going to talk about how you feel about him. Should How he's going to affect Jalen Hurts to take him to the next level in his career. Do you feel like, um, with all the noise, about the new offensive coordinator, do you feel like is this a make or break for Hurts? And if so, why do you think so?
You asking people?
No, I'm asking you,
Okay, okay, okay. You say it's just
the people
make or
and
break?
you, the people and
Okay,
you.
okay, okay. I want to make sure. All right. So you said it's make or break?
Yeah,
Um, it's really hard to say if it's make or break for Jalen. I think it really depends on because it's two things that can happen.
yeah,
It's either we don't make it to the Super Bowl, but Jalen performs high,
right.
which would be good, or let's say Jalen has another low year but makes it to the Super Bowl, which would also be good for him. So it's like it really depends on how the scenario works out. I do
Hmm.
think that he should be able to evolve because from what they've been saying, we're going to be passing the ball more. So
Right.
I feel like there's nothing but opportunities that's going to be presented to Jalen for him to showcase his arm.
Yeah.
Now, what I would hope for is for Jalen to start using his legs again. I feel like that's when Jalen is the most dynamic. So if he's able to use his legs and use his arm, I think he's gonna be great. And I think Saquon's gonna have a good year this year.
Think so?
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
2,000 yards, but I do think he's going to have a great year, especially in the passing game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, I don't think this is a make or break for Jalen Hurts. Uh, I think that it is an opportunity. This is a chance for him to shut the critics up. And what I mean by that is that about people saying that he can't excel, he can't get to the next level, he can't throw consistently. You know what I'm saying? As a quarterback and stuff like that. And I do believe that this is an opportunity for him to take his game to the next level, to show people that that's not who Jalen Hurts is. He's not, you know, just getting by and just winning games. You know what I mean? And having 150 passing yards and one touchdown and one interception and still winning the games. You know what I'm saying? So uh I do think this is give him an opportunity to showcase, like you said, like who he really truly is, and it can unlock something in him that he thought he never had. So I believe that this is a great opportunity for him to, because it can go either way. He can play phenomenal, but don't make the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Or he can play not as good. Now he can play like he always been playing. You know what I mean? Conservative, but somehow still go to the Super Bowl. I think either way you look at it, it's kind of a win-win. You know what I mean? When you really look at it, when you really think about it. And so, I think AJ, not AJ, I think Jalen Hurts, this is his time to shine. It's his time to, you know, to, to, to take it to the next level in his game, because it's time for him to take the next level to his game, because you know I mean, it is hard for a quarterback to have what 4 or 5 offensive coordinators each and every year, and you still winning at a very high level. That's crazy to me. That's insane to me. I mean, you look at all the elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, like Josh Allen, like Joe Burrow, like Lamar Jackson. They all had the same offensive core when it comes to offensive staff and offensive coaches and all stuff. But Jalen Hurts, Every time he get changed to a different system, he somehow, some way wins, and that right there gives me more respect or more like more love for Hurts than anyone else because no matter how it is, no matter what it is, it can be a bad offensive coordinator like this past one. This all bad coordinator. He took this team that was a trash offense and took them back to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like yeah, but at the same time, but like I said, like I told you, in private, I was like, so I do believe that Jalen needs stability. He needs stability right now in this point in his career. This is what, like year 6 or 7 for him, right? Yeah, like year 6 or 7. So like he needs stability. He needs stability, and he needs stability on with him, but he needs stability with that offense. And I believe that he should be deserving enough to get that stability because of what he's been doing for the past 5, 4, 5, 6 years. And I don't, and he needs that, and it's going to help his career because if he doesn't get that stability, I think it's going to hinder his growth, him as a player. And you know what I mean? So
I think he'll ever really have stability
mm,
realistically. I feel like our offensive coordinator will always get hired to be a head coach.
mhm,
Like you said, we have too much talent, bro, for offensive coordinators not to be good.
yeah,
So it's either they're getting hired
mm,
or have that stability. But I feel like he still has the potential to be great. So
yeah. Well, at least I hope that this offensive coordinator stay for at least more than 1 year. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I hope so. I really do hope so. But yeah, though, yeah, but yeah, yeah, see how tell me how you think, guys, about the growth of Jalen Hurts, and the offensive coordinator. Do you think that he is going to help Jalen Hurts get to the next level, or you think he's going to get deteriorated, or it's going to be the same old, Jalen Hurts? You know what I mean? Tell me how you feel, but we're going to move on to another subject about the NBA. We're gonna talk about more about the NBA. The NBA playoffs is approaching really, 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 really soon. And I mean really soon, I mean probably next week. And it's been a lot of chat about what's going on with Chad Cunningham with his injury, with his collapsed lung, and um, how he got hurt a couple games ago, and they don't know the time frame that he'll be back. They say he should be back by the time the playoffs, but like I said, you never know. In your opinion, Sean, do you feel that if he has more time off when playoff season starts, do you think that that will hinder them to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
no. Best player is Cade Cunningham. Cade,
Right, right. Uh-huh. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, that's why I feel like too. I feel like that. I feel like that. What you call it? I feel like that. If Cunningham is the guy, is the key to take them to the Eastern Conference. Without him, they're not going down nowhere. I feel like they're not going nowhere without him. And like I said before, Boston is coming. Boston is coming, and you know, um, I hope, I pray that, it ain't nothing bad or anything like that, which is injury. But you gotta look at reality. You just don't know. You just never know what's going to happen. He might miss more time. You know what I mean? But I think the longer that he's out, uh, I think the harm it will do for Detroit, especially depending on who they going against in the first round. So, um, I feel like they're not the same without Cam, without Cunningham. They're not the same dominant force team like they are. If Cunningham is not there, and so he has to be back. Hopefully, healthy and stuff by the time the playoffs come. Or he might miss one game or two or something like that. But if they don't have him playing in the postseason, you can kiss that trophy goodbye. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ah, ah. Oh yeah, bro. Luca dropped 60 last night.
yeah, I heard. I've been hearing Luca been snapping lately.
He has been snapping. I ain't gonna lie. I think with Luca, he dropped uh he dropped 60 last night. Um, his stats is like crazy to me, bro. His last game he dropped 40 against the Houston Rockets. Against Houston, the second because they played Houston twice.
Yeah,
They played Houston. He dropped 36. In Denver, he dropped 31, 30. In Chicago, he dropped 51. In Minnesota, he dropped 31. New York, he dropped 35. Indiana, he dropped 44. And so, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think Luca is definitely on top of that conversation of the MVP as of right now. Uh, you also gotta put Jalen Brown as well. You know what I mean? In that mix, in that category. You know what I mean? But I mean, who you think is might win the MVP?
I think Shea gonna get it back to back.
You think so?
Shea, yeah, Shea's putting up numbers, and he's on the best team. Putting
Mm,
up putting up similar numbers to last year. So I
mm,
think he's going to end up doing it again. Some might argue that he's the best. Well, he's not. It's not an argument. He's the best player on the best team.
mm.
So yeah, I think he's gonna get back to back. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, his numbers. His numbers speaks for itself. Against Brooklyn, he dropped with 20, 20. Last game, he dropped 40. The other game, he dropped 20, 35, 35, 27, 26, 30, and 36. So he's like, in the regular season, he's averaging about like 31.5 points a game.
Yeah,
You know,
and shooting at more than 50%.
yeah, yeah, you're
So
right. The field goal, the FT is like 89.2.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
I think he
You know,
averaging like 6 assists. He got like 4 rebounds.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he
yeah,
got.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. 6.6 rebounds, 4.5, 6 assists. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's killing it. I ain't gonna lie, he's killing it. I mean, he definitely can be a back to back candidate. You know what I mean? Uh, we got to get another close eye because I think we have like one more week of the into the regular season end, right?
Yeah,
But I wish Wembanyama was part of the of the of the conversation, but he missed a lot of games to the point that he can't be in the conversation. So but yeah, in general, you look at Luca. Luca is averaging 33 points a game. His what you call it? His rebound is like 7.9. His assist is like 8.4. And so he's killing it. They all killing it. I'm not even gonna hold you. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, what do you guys think about about who's gonna win MVP this year? You talk about Luca, talk about Jalen Brown, talk about uh, that's it, Alexander. Who do you think is going to win the MVP this year? Um, I think these all guys. Their guys is really snapping. They really snapping. But they snapping because they ain't snapping just to be snapping. They snapping because they trying to get a higher seed for real, for real. But yeah though, yeah, you're right though. They're definitely it definitely is a competition. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tight race, so it's gonna be interesting to see who win it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's the next topic?
Yeah. Let me see.
Did we touch on
Uh,
everything?
um, yeah, I think we touched on everything today about the recently all the recent updates. You know what I mean? What's going on. You got any updates or any thing you want to talk about?
No, ain't nothing really popped on yet. Like nothing big recently. So
Uh, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Starting in April, we're gonna be talking more and more about the the NFL draft. We're gonna talk about the prospects. We're gonna talk about the wide receivers, the DBs, the D linemen, all of them, and what are they the best fit for the best team, and how they going to affect their uh that team and stuff. So don't worry, April. We're gonna talk about the draft really, really, really soon. Uh, but yeah, though, yeah, I think we covered it all. Between the AJ Brown and everything, I think we covered it all. I want
yeah,
you to share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. We want to listen to you. We gonna hear everything that you got to say. Anything that you want to talk about, we'll talk about. Just write it down on the chat, and we'll discuss it. We'll get what your opinion on it. We'll get our opinion on it. We'll talk about it. We'll, you know, um, get connected. This is all about being connected and being together and stuff. And so, thank y'all for coming to our episode again. This is episode 2. This is
yeah.
Manny, and this is,
This is Sean.
and we want to thank you. And this is the What's the Word Sports Podcast. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, tell somebody, share on our social media platform. Let's get it in. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. All right, y'all. Take care. Have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless. And let's go. You already know. Till next time.
Yeah, yes, sir. We appreciate y'all.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, y'all.
Peace out.